guys, welcome to another episode of the Spilled Milk, the Spilled Milk podcast. We got a very special guest today. You know, Richmond original, big dude, Hollywood, Harv. How you doing, brother? Thank you for joining us, man. Look, yeah, he's under there, looking real good, man, for a Sunday morning. You know, I wore the pajama. This guy's kind of dressed to the nines.
I'm still wearing it from last night.
You get up to anything this weekend? Well, I mean, aside from
I was working last night. Another like a fundraiser I was emceeing in Abbotsford.
Yeah, gotcha.
And you know, once you're already out.
Yeah. You know, actually, I did want to talk to you about that because I always thought I'd be pretty good at emceeing and things like that too. I mean, and hate to take away from your business.
I don't need no competition.
Yeah. You know, two greats can exist. You know, the same thing. Like, how'd you kind of get into that? Like, I mean, without, I guess, have you always kind of been in the creative space and had a platform?
Yeah, radio. I started on radio. Yeah. So I started doing, I went to school for broadcasting.
Okay.
And then started doing a radio show in 98.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm that old. Yeah.
True OG to the game.
Yeah. So in 98. And then from radio, it progressed.
Yeah.
Like radio, you know, started doing commercials, producing commercials.
Yeah.
And then was DJing, started producing little songs and snippets, got on a bunch of Punjabi albums, did skits, and from that eventually to stand-up comedy.
Okay, yeah,
so
gotcha.
Just went through, and then receptions, like wedding receptions, is my bread and butter.
Yeah,
right. So like, I emceed my best friend's reception.
Yeah, which I've also done now.
Yeah, which was like in 01.
Okay,
right, and then. You know, like a lady from the crowd was like, hey, listen, will you, my son's getting married next month, and will you MC? And I'm like, I don't know your son. This is my friend. Yeah. And she's like, how about $300? And I'm like, oh, what's your son's name?
Yeah.
And then so I did that one, and then the following year I did like 3 or 4 more. Yeah. And then the following year did like 10, then the rates went up.
Yeah.
You know? And so, I mean,
it's a nice little, you know, extra side cash, you know, party money.
Now I do about 50 a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I did 46 this summer.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the process like, actually? I'm genuinely interested in. So somebody asked you to do their kid's wedding, and I mean, the first one must have been kind of weird. Like, did you have to sit down with the guy, go for lunch with them?
So I interview them a week before. Mm-hmm. So what I'll do is I take a deposit. Yeah. And let's say, okay, so next weekend I have a reception. Yeah. I have 2 actually. Mm-hmm. And so those people I will interview this week. Yeah. Sit down with them for like meet at a Starbucks for an hour. Yeah. Ask them things about him, things about her, his family, her family, and then together how they met, and that. And I got a kind of standard questionnaire formula.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I go through that, and then I just go there and I'll pretend like I've been part of the family forever.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then, but the best is the stuff that people like is when I rip on their family.
Yeah.
Right? So they'll actually call, like there's people like who'll call the video company and be like, hey, can you get me that clip from Charn's wedding where Harv roasted my son?
Yeah.
And they want that. So it took off. And I mean, like, it's been great, honestly.
And any moments of tension ever like that? You know, you say something, maybe you went a little too far. Someone's trying to press you afterwards. I mean, you're a big guy.
So luckily, my size gets me. No, it's not just the size. It's like when I do it, I do it in a smiley, happy way that no one gets offended. Yeah. Only one time. I've done. So the reception I did last week was number 661.
Okay.
So it's a lot of receptions.
Wow, that's a lot.
And I've had one where, like, the bride's family just got pissed off.
Yeah.
Because they were like, sorry, go pass here. Right? Like, well, because like apparently they paid for half the reception.
Yeah.
But, you know, like the groom side didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
And so when I walked in, I'm like, on behalf of the Mon family, I'd like to welcome you all here.
Yeah.
And the bride's mom, who's just like, you know when they get the black teeth from drinking too much red wine?
Thudding the pot.
So she's just like drunk on red wine, comes over and is like, how dare you say welcome from the Mon family? We paid for half this reception. Wow. And I'm like, would you like me to go back up there and say, hey, look, you know, Sharnikor would like everybody to know that they paid for half the reception. Would that make you feel better?
Yeah.
And she's just like, fuck you, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, wow.
Like, what the?
This is why Auntie I shouldn't drink.
Yeah. that was the only time ever.
So what is your actual thought process on that? Like, you know, you're married. Does your wife drink and stuff?
Yeah, occasionally.
And, now the auntie who drink, who are a step beyond that. And, it's going to be a more modern type of culture at this point.
Oh, it is.
The level of, tension between families, now that alcohol's mixed on
I think it's gone.
Girls' side. You think so?
To be honest, it's nobody cares anymore. The things like, I'm looking at things going on the dance floor and whatnot, and I'm like, man, like this would never fly. But our parents' generation who were so strict on us are like the BBs in the bubble now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're sitting in the corner not paying attention. They don't give a fuck if Randy's rubbing up on Sabrina or whatever, right? They're like, whatever.
Some real names there. Those ones hit a little closer.
You're behind her in the rail gaddi or whatever, right? So they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Right? It's Bhangra World. That's like my skit is on Bhangra World. Like once you enter in there, and like how before it would be like, even if your sister or whatever wants a drink, you would go over and get her like a clear vodka soda and bring it.
Now they're at the bar and stuff.
They just,
which is cool. Honestly, I'm not really referring to like the young people. Of course, young people are drinking and stuff, but like the auntie drinking was always an interesting dynamic for me. Because like I know that they're all just hating usually.
Yes, but what
now you've added alcohol to the mix, so it's like gasoline on a fire.
But what we consider aunties is not that old now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right, they're my age.
Fair enough. Sometimes I forget that I'm getting older.
That's who the auntie are now. When I started doing receptions, I was because my friends were getting married.
Yeah.
Now, so many times I get to a reception and it turns out I'm friends with the dad.
Yeah.
I did one last month where the bride's dad went to school with me. I didn't even know it was his daughter's wedding.
That must be crazy.
And he's a year younger than me. And his daughter's getting married. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is your daughter?
Yeah. So do you think we can get to a point where our weddings basically become like, like white weddings where like people are hooking up and shit,
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it happens at like a very small scale, but like, when it's open.
You know how much shit I've seen in 661 wedding receptions?
I mean, I've probably been to a lot of wedding receptions too.
A lot of shit goes down.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is interesting times, like what comes from, the kids, all these broccoli-headed kids now. They're always trying to raise up the show.
I got a couple of those.
And those guys are always, they got their own lingo, like you said, your son's got it, and, things like that. Rizzing up the whatever. Shorties.
Yeah.
There's bare shorties everywhere.
Yeah. I'm like, I have no idea what you said.
Seeing the gat in the Punjabi suit is a different fucking scene.
Oh, it is a different scene. You ever unravel a sari?
Ooh. Surprisingly never. Unravel the sari.
It's a whole other vibe.
I've never slept with a girl on like a reception day. Or like if I was, it wasn't like the suits were taken off first. It wasn't just like a moment of passion.
No,
my kapri coming off, trying to get the skin off me. None of that's been going down.
Well, it wasn't your own wedding.
No, I'm not married yet.
I don't wear etchkins to the weddings.
No, I think it's a good versatile outfit. It's a little bit more comfortable, I think.
You know what?
Unless it's summer, because then you're fucking boiling.
I appreciate the guys who want to be like, oh, we're so in touch with our Punjabi culture and I'm wearing a kurta pajama to this party. But like some of them are turning into Halloween costumes now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm like, why does this guy look like Maharaja Ranjit Singh walking in here? Right? Like it's just over big pearl necklace and the shawl wrapped in a way that I wouldn't even know how to wrap that shawl.
And the pants are like, you got these weird fucking like cuts in them and swirls and stuff. It is getting a little out of hand.
Yeah.
But, I actually never thought about it like that, but it is a costume. Okay, basically we're just going to do some quick fire questions and, you can have your thoughts on it. I'll have my thoughts on it. What are your thoughts of, this one's actually from a buddy of mine, people who wear shorts to the Gurdwara.
Oh, interesting.
And you're getting canned for it. Like you go to Scott Road 64th, you wear shorts to the Gurdwara. Those pradhans and those Granthis are not letting it fly.
Really?
No.
They'll come up and say,
they'll say
you
can't be wearing shorts here.
Really?
Cover your shit up.
Huh. I guess it depends on your age too.
No.
But I mean, I see it all the time.
Yeah. Older guys doing it?
I don't know. I don't think it's something I've paid attention to, actually, right? I mean, girls in skirts at the Gurdwara, it's weird, but you always get that at the wedding. There'll be like the 3 Goriya that are invited who show up in
I
skirts
think that's fine. I think they get the hall pass on that. You know, they don't know. It's fine. Like, I mean, maybe somebody should have told them, but like, I think it's reasonable.
I don't know if our parents ever let us wear shorts as kids to go I mean, maybe at young age, but. That's an interesting question. Like, who came up with that?
You actually know the guy. Okay. Leaf Singh. He came up with that. I'll tell you his real name after. Right. Here's an interesting one. You know, you grew up in an era where I guess homophobia was a lot more accepted.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like...
That's an interesting angle on it.
So I was building this up. And then, like, you know, as we age, we tend to get older. Like, you know, we're more and more okay with gay people. We don't give a shit. Right. You're a good person. You're a good person. Now let's add this to the fold. The gay sing. What's your thought process on it?
You know what? I watched one of your things, and you were talking about showing up at the gas station with a goatee, and the guy's like, "Can that sing?"
Yeah. Well, that didn't have it. I wasn't gay at that point.
No, but okay, with the gay thing. Well, first of all, okay, from kindergarten to college.
Yeah.
Okay. In 15 years of school, 16 years of school. Not one single person that I grew up with actually openly came out as gay or lesbian.
Yeah.
Not once.
Yeah.
So, which is amazing. Like, it's actually shocking to see that the level of homophobia was that high.
Yeah.
That this person was that scared to come out. That not one. You're telling me in all those years we went to school, not one person was gay?
Of course.
Like, guaranteed
it was going down.
But they never came out. So that's a cool thing about this generation, our kids' generation. They're a lot more tolerant.
Yeah, absolutely.
More accepting, which is fantastic. I love about my kids.
100%.
The gay sing, I don't know. Like, what are you gonna do? There's gonna be.
It's just part of it now, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, because a lot of times, like when you grew up as a Sardar, right? It was something that you had from birth.
Yes, 100%.
So it would be different if our parents said, "Hey, look, you guys, you can, you're growing up here, you have a haircut or whatever." And then at the age of 15, we're going to teach you about Sikhi.
Yeah.
We're going to teach you all the fundamentals. And then you can make an informed decision of whether or not you want to keep your case.
I don't think my parents have ever had an understanding conversation like that.
Right. But like this generation now. Yeah. So if that was the case, then, someone might be like, well, you know what, Mom, Dad, I'm actually gay. Yeah. And so I don't feel comfortable wearing that stud or
absolutely.
Or maybe the parents are like, it's okay, son, to be gay and you can still wear that. So it's kind of it's a within the family kind of discussion, right? And it's not for us to judge, I don't think. I don't know the exact, I don't think there is a passage in our, that says that like being gay is unacceptable. I don't know. Maybe there is. I'm not expert on that topic, but we have to be tolerant and accepting. The one thing I do know is that, we come from a religion that's based on equality.
Yep, absolutely. And, respect everyone who shows respect, basically.
And so I don't think anybody should have an issue with it. And it's not your fucking business.
It really isn't.
It's none of your... It really isn't. If the Gwandiya da Munda is gay and he wears a pug, like, what the fuck's it to you?
So I actually have this theory as to why, it's so rampant in our culture, like the homophobia aspect of it, and we're so afraid of this whole thing. And it is because, well, if you think about it, like, in India, like how much like trans people are like a part of our culture.
Prominent.
It's
right.
It's a normal thing. It's like, I remember, being a kid and, they came to the house and they do the dance and stuff. And we gave them some chicken.
Dude,
they left the house. I got money.
I went to my mom's band.
Yeah.
At my mama's house, we're going over and there's my mom's house and then like our other mama in the band, right? And so she's like, let's go. We're going to Pali Mama's house. Yeah. And I'm like, I'll go out. You guys go and I'll walk over there after. Yeah. And I'm like, where do I turn? She's like, Ote baad sign laga hona. And I'm like, what's the sign for? She's like, just don't worry. You'll see a sign. Just turn there. That's his house. You walk up, the sign is like, "Kuch nahi aata dance, 2500 rupeya," right?
Is that a socially accepted term?
Just written on the wall. And I'm like, that's Mama's house, right?
Yeah. Mama was into some shit.
It was just the outside wall where they decided to post the sign.
Yeah.
But like, that's been acceptable. Like, I don't know, what do you call it? So they have like the dual functionality.
Is that what it is?
Hermaphrodite, I believe it's called.
I don't know if they were hermaphrodites. I've tried to look into that.
I think that's what it is. When what we call
trans.
There's like kusre or there's other term for it.
I've only heard the term kusra, but I don't even know if that's a socially acceptable term.
I don't know. That
I don't know. If it is
term,
offensive, sorry.
Don't mean to offend anyone, which we probably will
just
during
ignorance.
the course. But yet that was so normal in our society.
Yeah.
So then why is it weird here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, how many uncles have we heard talking about, like, Fulana puts out.
Get the real gaddi going.
Because in the pen, it's only gay to receive, right?
Like, now, did your mom ever, like, tell you stories? Like, I remember I was, like, a 10-year-old kid or 9-year-old kid. And, like, I'm, like, laughing at this show, right? And my mom pulls me to the side. She's like, oh, don't laugh. Like, if you laugh and you piss them off, they'll come back and kidnap you and stuff.
And then, don't ridicule them.
It's like, you have to live with them.
Because apparently they wield some power.
Yeah. Right? That's the black magic and shit. So, like, maybe that's what it is. Like, all of our moms just, like, instilled this fear that they're going to kidnap you one day. And then, you're stuck in this room with them. And,
but they respected,
you're at their mercy.
In I guess, the band I picture, I relate it to Trailer Park.
Yeah.
The Trailer Park Boys. It's pretty much the same thing, right? Like, you're in this band and you one wrong mistake and the rest of the people are gonna make it hard for you to live because they're gonna make fun of you, look down on you, that kind of stuff. So if you have to coexist in this environment, because like back in the day, people aren't leaving the bend and going to Delhi to do shopping. They're staying in that freaking bend for the whole. Like, there's people who I know from the bend who've never
left
to Jalandhar or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they have to coexist with all these types of people. So if you have transgender or people you don't agree with, a lower caste maybe, or whatever it is,
you learn to live together.
Or religions, whatever. You have to.
Maybe this is why the juggling are just so prominent in our...
That's what it is. Yeah. It's Trailer Park, man.
Yeah.
It's like, it's equivalent.
So final thoughts on it. It took me a long time to get comfortable with, like, the whole aspect of...
is Mr. Leahy.
Yeah. But yeah, irregardless, I mean, it takes time for people to get, comfortable with things. But, like, a lot of times people are like, oh, like, if you're gay, just take off the flag. And then, like, I used to kind of agree with that. But then I'm like, yo, like, wait a minute. Like, who the fuck am I to say anyone should remove the Sikhi? I was like, I'm not the perfect human being. Like, I drink, I party. I'm kind of going...
I was like, I'm exiting.
I kind of gone the opposite side, but I do keep a pretty good relationship with God. But yeah, it's kind of a live and let live. And, anyone who does kind of have a problem at this point, like, fuck, we got bigger fish to fry. But
yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, we take a quick break to shout out one of my sponsors, Wolfco, who actually makes some of the most premium underwear that I've ever worn. I'm not just saying that. Like, they got the vented front here, when your regions get a little bit hot, and they got the vented back here when your regions get a little bit hot. No more sweat, no more smell. This is some really, really good underwear. And as you can see by this picture, it makes your package look real nice too. Wolfco.
I'm sure they don't want to pay for it either.
Okay, so, like, it kind of brings me back to this. Like, you've seen the eras kind of change. So you've said you've been in the scene since, like, 2001 or 98, you said?
Yeah.
So you kind of grew up when even the Punjabi... the cultural, like, hip scene started out in England.
Yes.
And that, bled into Canada and the States, and, like, that was, like, the main thing. Like, I feel like that era was probably just as big as the era of Punjabi music is right now. Or am I wrong about that? Because I was a kid. I was, like, maybe, like, grade 4, grade 5, but I knew about, like, the RDBs and Sukshinda Chinda.
Right,
like,
of course.
It felt just, like, way bigger than life at that point.
It was, but it was, I don't know, it's hard to describe. Like, there was more passion towards it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you had to go out and get that cassette, and you would go to whatever Golden Star Video,
yeah,
and you buy, like, the 5 or 6 cassettes that are new.
Yeah.
You don't know you don't even, like, it's not,
you don't know
you can't
preview.
You don't know what's going to be on there.
Yeah.
You get in your car and you're like, you listen to 2 songs, you're like, okay, this tape sucks.
Yeah.
Right? And you get the next one, you're like, oh, wow, this is awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, then you come to school and you ask your other buddies, hey, did you hear this?
Yeah,
the latest Death Jam or Suffrage Boys, whatever. And so people were passionate about it.
Yeah.
Now it's just, there's a lot more access to everything.
Yeah.
So, like, nobody is selling 1 million cassettes anymore.
Yeah.
Right? They might have 10 million downloads or YouTube views.
Yeah.
But, like, before, it was like, when something, like, now something goes viral and it's big. Back then, it's going viral through word of mouth.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just organically spreading through people.
100%.
And people were getting the cassettes, all over the world, in Australia, in India, in England, in Canada, US, like all that. And so the music scene was, you're looking forward to what's next, right? Now there's 18 new songs every day.
I always wish I could have been an adult during, like, that time, when the Apnia were, like, they're all Siania during the day, but now they're coming out with the blonde streaks and they got the low-rise jeans and, like, that fucking shadowy eye makeup.
Dude, when I go back now and you watch, like, a Hira video or Opera Sangeet video, you're like, that's somebody's auntie dancing right there. That's somebody's mom, right?
I wish I could have been that time, man. I think it would have just been such a blast. Were things looser back then, or did people have the shackles? Like, I mean, it's definitely looser now, but, like, there is still the worry about being caught on camera for something and, like, things like that. And I think girls do keep that part in the back of their head to be caught on camera, doing some fuck shit. Guys probably a little less. I think we are a little bit more forgiving.
That's my time, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about now, but I know then, like, there was still a lot of fear. Like, I mean, even the girl dancing in the music video. Yeah,
that's a big one.
Pretty sure she was shunned by her family.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? Pretty sure she wasn't showing up to no family parties after that. Everyone's like, nah, it's a video, but not easy, right?
See, that's the perception,
It would actually be, I remember a time where it would be only if you're divorced.
Yeah.
If you're a divorced woman, then you're going to go dance in a music video. Because no one else is going to do it, because they're like, you're never going to get married.
Yeah. So you're the girl dancing in the RDB music video. You're basically, do you remember Anjali Uncovered or Anjali Kara? She was the brown porn star from England. She had the blonde hair.
Tell me more about it.
I'll put you on some game later. That was the first thing I saw when I was probably like 15. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There's an opera out here doing this shit. It was belligerent.
It was a shock. I mean, for us growing up, all those things were a shock.
Yeah.
Your first uppity porn star, first uppity, like, you get nude pictures in your Hotmail of some chick flashing her tits. Like, that was like, holy crap, right? It went everywhere. And going back to, like, dude, I remember sang at our school. So at my high school, transferred in from a different school.
Okay.
So, like, halfway through the year, and we're like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's sitting in the parking lot on the hood of his Mustang, and he's got a butt in one hand.
Whoa.
And he's got a hot-ass uppity chick sitting on his lap over here.
Whoa.
And we're like, I remember
True
my buddy,
pioneer.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? My buddy Bobby, I remember it clearly. He's behind me. He's like, yo, Gianni got it going on.
Yeah.
And then my other buddy was actually like, check it. He's like, look at that girl. He's like, you think she's uppity? I'm like, I don't know. She kind of looks uppity.
Yeah.
He's like, when kache blade of here. As in, like, she had shaved her armpits.
Yeah.
And she was wearing sleeveless, and we were like, wow.
She's ahead of the times,
That's like early 90s. That was like mind-boggling. Like, holy crap. Why is she, like, this was before waxing and threading and all that, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, damn, why is her face so clean?
Yeah. I wonder where that guy is now, man. And how much of an impact he created. I mean, like, the butt hacking thing, like, I'll never be behind that. That's just like the one line I draw. Everything else goes. But the butt hacking is the thing, that's my one line. Yeah. And I've always held that one like really strong. I'll smoke weed, I'll do the other stuff. but no chance.
That's where you draw the line. Okay, good to know.
I really wonder where that guy is, man. And all those guys, I feel that, like, like the original things that were really trying to like push the envelope, like they almost had like more of a point to prove. So they like went like really far in that other direction.
Yeah, a little bit. There'd be the guys like, you see out and all of a sudden he's got like cornrows and braids,
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, isn't that?
Yeah. I remember when I first started clubbing, this is like probably standing in front of Republic. This is like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
And there's always this one thing. I just remember seeing this guy downtown all the time. He's always wearing a fedora over the parka. And it was always at like a bit of a tilt.
Nice. You gotta have a little tilt to it.
And I was just like, fuck, like, like.
Again, you got to go on.
Like, no, he had bitches here and there, man. And I was just like, fuck, like this guy is just, like what's going on here? And I was always like, I wish I could have just had a conversation with that guy and like, just seen who he was.
I think even that term, it took me a while. Like, we used that.
Yeah,
we threw that term around. You talked about that.
Yeah.
And then a couple of my friends recently, like not recently, but 10 years ago, were like, hey, listen, man, like, don't call me that.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
If someone's going to explain it nicely, no problem. If you're going to be a dick, I'm going to fucking call you.
Yeah. I think it was weaponized a little bit.
Yeah.
It was kind of always like, maybe it started out like half decently, like innocent or whatever, but it was always kind of like you're othering someone.
A little bit of snarkiness to it.
Yeah, you're othering a guy. Like, of Gyanis who they are in the Gurdwara, and like, just because another guy has it now, you're just referring them to him as Gyani. And like kind of, you're making him that thing, and everyone else piles on. So yeah.
Because there's more to him than that.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so, I appreciate that we kind of toned down using that term, but I'll still, like, to this day, driving, and because, you see a guy in a pug walking down the street, I'll be driving, not out loud to him, but I'm just like, saying good. You have to. And the thing is now, with the amount that are here now, it's like all day. I'm in the car. My kids are like, Dad, stop. I'm like, saying good. Saying good. Just like every time I see one, I can't help it. It's a habit.
Yeah. I go to BCIT now for night class, so I'm just upgrading some stuff. And like the amount of, the student things that are there's like, you rarely used to see guys at college, right? With the pug and everything.
Very rare.
And now there's like 50 of them on the same floor.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on 20 of these gentlemen living in the same basement suite? Brutal? So how many do you have in your basement right now?
None. But you know what? That student debate is rampant right now.
Let's get into it. What are your thoughts on the students? The good, the bad, the ugly?
Okay.
The girls?
Yo, I hear some stories. Like, I hear some horror fucking stories. But it's like, I can appreciate when they're coming here and fucking around.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Let them.
Yeah.
It's not like we didn't get into scraps in nightclubs. Not like we never spent a night in jail.
Absolutely.
Right? We did all that shit. If our parents, imagine it's you, me, and 4 or 5 of our friends, our parents said, hey, you guys all go to Australia.
Yeah.
We're going to do some shit down there too.
100%.
So I understand they're going to do some shit.
Yeah.
But it's getting out of control. Like this, all the stuff, I mean, I haven't noticed it here as bad, but like these videos you get from Toronto and what I don't get is, like, I remember back in the day, you cruise Robson, you do the Giddy, right?
Yeah.
Or Granville Street or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't understand this going to a plaza and just like, you. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, what I want to know is, what is the success rate?
There's no success rate.
Wait, how many times do you think there's a group of girls walking by and they're like, oh, did you hear those chicas? Like, that guy knows how to mar the chica right there. Right? Let's go get his number. Do you think that happens? Like, how often do you think that happens?
No, it doesn't happen. But like, it's, they haven't figured out what other ways to make approaches yet. And I think that takes a little bit of
there's
time.
crazy shit
They're
happening.
not doing the sophisticated approach, like, hey, what's going on?
There's that guy that you talk to, who is it? That Yara.
Oh yeah, Dennis Yara.
I think he's doing his part to teach them some game,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, he's exactly what that community needs.
Because like I love it. Like there's so many nice ones.
Yeah.
right? Like the gas station by my house.
Yeah.
All these young homeboys are pulling.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Sasi Kal Paji. I'm
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, wicked. I love those guys.
Yeah.
They're cool. But I don't know what they're doing at night
after
they get off shift. Right? And but you can tell even there. Because like the guy, like a lot of the people coming over now, they're not starving.
Yeah.
Like they're not coming.
Well, I don't know if that's
no, I mean,
maybe
maybe here.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like they're coming from a decent family back home.
Yeah.
Right. And I understand they got to send money back and all that. But like, so the work ethic.
Yeah. Is a little less.
Right. Like I love my people and I want to be proud of my peeps. Right. But I also want to get some decent service at Tim Hortons, right?
Absolutely.
Like, fuck, you know?
Those girls are ruthless. And like, it doesn't have to be a girl thing, guy thing, but those girls are absolutely ruthless. Like, there's no customer service. I'm going to tell you an awesome story where I actually blew my top. And like, I like to consider myself a pretty cool-headed guy. I'm at the Scott Road KFC. Don't ask me why. It was a bad night.
Strawberry Hill?
Yeah, Strawberry Hill. Yeah. And I'm there, and I order something, and she's like, oh, just do like a loop around, and by that time, your food will be ready, right? There's like 3 or 4 cars. I have a movie to catch. Like, that's the whole thing. My buddy's not like, you know, we're going to Silver City in Richmond here.
A quick 2-piece before going in.
Yeah, you know, I ain't eating all day. You know, I was hungry. It's not one of my finer moments. She's like, do the loop. So I come out of that thing, and now the A&W parking lot, or the drive-thru is
right
packed because it's got like a trail of cars. I'm sitting there for 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It turns into like 10, 12, 15 minutes. I'm fucking like livid at this point, right? I'm like,
and you've already paid.
Yeah, I already paid. I'm like, I can't just dip out of here now. You know, I park the car. I walk right up. She's like, actually, I can't serve you if you're walking. You have to be in a car. I was like, I already fucking told you. I was like, I had to go. You told me to loop around. Terrible decision. Everyone's stuck here. Give me my food. I need to go. Yeah. And she's like, no. She's like, I will be calling the police. I'm like, give me my money back then. And she's like, oh, what was your order? And it's like giving me so much sass. Like, they're like laughing at me. They're clowning me. And I was like, I'm like, you guys are fucking useless. I just walked out there hungry and pissed.
Dude, I've had one in an A&W drive-thru so bad that I can't even discuss it.
Yeah.
Like so bad that I won't even tell my own family how bad I lost it.
We'll talk about it off camera.
Like I lost it. But it's like, I want to love my peeps.
Yeah.
Right? But like sometimes they make it difficult.
Yeah.
Like, because there's no reason to create this divide.
Yeah.
So the term I hate is they say "idarle, odarle."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're like "idarle jamme."
Yeah.
And I'm like, what difference does it fucking make?
Canadian born,
right? Oh, Canadian born. Yeah. So like, you're already looking like the way you said the term "gyani" weaponized a bit.
Yeah.
Well, that is as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing it pretty bad to ourselves and our people at this point now. Like, there are the opponent who are like, fuck these guys, send them back home. Like, that's a real sentiment now, which is not, like, it's not the right way to go. Like, I mean, individualize who you hate. Simple.
Yeah.
You know, like, I hate plenty of guys from here, too.
Yeah. You got to hear each individual case.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, some of the things are wild. Like, you know, like, some guys that I know, you know, who live in my buddy's basement.
Yeah.
Like, you guys never gone to school one day that I got see the student.
Yeah.
Like, what fucking school do you go to? You work at the gas station. Yeah. You don't go to no school.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, like we were marked unfairly on this test. And
yeah.
Blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, because you didn't go to the class.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like what kind of mark did you expect?
No. These guys are actually belligerent.
There are certain things out there.
I have firsthand anecdotal evidence about how belligerent the cheating on tests and the assignments and things are like that. You know, I gave my assignment to a guy. I'm thinking he's going to look at it, figure out what he needs to do, and, you know, make his own case. And I told him, I'm like, don't copy it word for word.
Yeah.
Copied it word for word.
100%.
And then the professor asked me what the fuck happened. This is a big midterm. Luckily, that class was easy. I made it through anyway. And I was just like, okay, like, this is what happened. Like, English is not his first language. Like, I tried to help him out, and, you know, I didn't know he was going to do this.
Yeah.
Still gave me a 0.
Oh, he still gave you a 0?
Still gave me a 0 on that. But then I was just like, dude, like, I fucking told you.
Yeah.
I was like, you need help? Ask me, but don't be that ridiculous.
That's brutal.
And that is happening at a very large scale. And that's why, like, where was it? I think they were Brampton where they were protesting. Apparently, the real story came out while they all got kicked out of their classes was because they all cheated and they copied each other's homework on the same thing.
Yeah.
So that is happening.
Starting a protest.
Yeah. It's not unfair. You guys are fucking around. And unfortunately, yeah.
Like, I love some of the shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got guys like sitting on a manja in a parking lot.
Yeah,
that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
cool, good
awesome.
bit. You and your buddies had a good night.
You guys got community.
Yeah,
your boys are with you.
But then you crashed the Challenger into an innocent family.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, that's where we draw the line.
Absolutely.
Right? So you want to have fun. Like, we like to fuck around too.
Yeah.
I do stupid shit with my friend. My friends will start a Bhangra circle in the backyard or whatever at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right? But as long as you're not hurting other people.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
If you're driving into an innocent family, crashing or speeding down 124 or whatever the hell.
Was that the one?
Like so many of them.
Yeah.
You're like,
well, I will say that lady took a bad left turn, though.
I did see that.
I will say that. That guy was driving too fast, but that lady took a terrible turn.
Actually, there's a friend of mine that grabbed the guy and pulled him out. I was like, is that? Oh, yeah.
The bald guy? Yeah. Shut up.
Shut up. I was calling
that
him.
was so fucking funny, man. Oh, that was actually hilarious. Here's a good one. Not the same ethnicity partner.
Oh, so common.
Yeah.
So common.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
I think that's the way to go.
You know what? In my son's class, there's 4 or 5 kids that are half brown.
Yeah.
Like, we're the only couple that's like Punjabi and Punjabi.
Yeah, wow.
And the other like 5 kids, 4 or 5 kids that are Punjabi dad or Punjabi mom and something else. You know? So it's I mean, I'm in Richmond.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as common in Abbotsford or whatever.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm assuming it is.
Probably not. No, I'm sure as much.
I mean, what's the problem?
No problem at all. And I don't even know why that's a question. But this one leads into the next one. Hyphenated last names.
Ooh. All right, whatever, if you want to.
No, I can't do it, man. I mean, I can't do it.
As long as the guy's not hyphenating. If she wants to hyphenate her shit, go for it.
I just can't get over it, man. My girlfriend tried to have this argument with me one time, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And, like, again, it does kind of become an ego thing, right? And, like, I have an ego about certain things. And I'd be like, dude, like no.
It's what we were taught by our dads and like carrying on the family line and the tradition and having a son and who carries on your line and blah, blah, blah.
So your kids are going to have this hyphenated name and what? They're going to marry someone. They're going to be, no, we're keeping our other 2 last names.
And then add a third one. Yeah, where does it end?
They're stupid.
Yeah, interesting take.
Don't get married. I don't want your last name. I don't want you to have a hyphen on my last name.
Yeah. Well, what about, how do you feel about, there's girls who say, I'm not taking your last name, I'll just keep mine.
Let's not get married. What are we doing this for then? Seriously, what?
Okay.
Why are we doing this then? Like, what's the entire reasoning behind getting the marriage? I thought that was you're joining the family, you're committing yourself over.
Really?
You want to just stay in a relationship? Let's just do that. Let's be boyfriend and girlfriend forever. I'm signing a piece of paper to give you half my shit.
Okay.
And
I want you to take my name?
And I want you to take my name. I want you to be part of the family. That's the commitment. That's the whole ceremony of marriage.
Yeah.
You can't just pick and choose the parts that you like. You can't
But then, if she keeps her last name and then you have kids, they're obviously going to get the dad's last name.
Are they? We don't know that.
Okay.
You know, whose last name do they choose? It's just a piece of paper at the end of the day. So that's what I mean. I mean, it's just like I think that's a ceremony of it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a ceremony of it. And if you don't want to follow that, no problem.
So that's how you feel about it.
That's how I feel. I'll eat that one. That's how I feel about it. But seriously, like, what's the father of? of doing any of like the actual wedding stuff, you know, signing the wedding license and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
If you're not fully, if you're not fully going forward with the entire ceremony.
Does that mean she's not fully committed to this relationship?
I don't know if that's the case. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Trying to trap you a little bit.
I wouldn't say that, but at the end of the day, it's like, I don't see a good reason as to why keeping it if you want to actually get married.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm interviewing you now.
Okay, let's do this one. The overarching, I mean, we're from Richmond here now, so maybe we don't feel it as much. The growing anti-Sikh hate. Well, not anti-Sikh, the growing Sikh hate.
Yeah.
How do we kind of overcome this? Like with the small minority of, let's just call it what it is, small minority of white people.
It is a small minority, but
they're a very vocal minority.
We're also, again, back to the student stuff. Student being a loose term,
yes, right?
We are kind of pushing the envelope right now.
Yes.
Like when you're on social media, we're everywhere.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like one of the things our dads did was like to avoid racism and whatnot was to fly under the radar.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
Which we're not.
Like, I mean, like you said, growing up in Richmond, I had all Chinese neighbors.
Yeah.
If there's a party going on at late at night or whatever, you know your good neighbors are calling the city, you're calling the cops.
Yeah.
The Chinese ones are not.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we don't want no trouble.
Yeah, leave them alone.
Close your blinds. Yeah. You guys do your thing.
Absolutely.
We're going to fly under the radar.
Yeah.
We are not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
We are forefront everything. You get that circle in Walmart and you know what I mean? So it's going to cause some hate.
Becoming a bit of a nuisance.
It's going to cause some hate.
Yeah.
Right? If these, whatever, the vocal minority, the Gore who are here, are going into Walmart and everyone working is Punjabi.
Yeah.
You go to Tim Hortons, everyone working is Punjabi. You go to McDonald's, everyone working is Punjabi. Okay, it can be fine if you're just getting good service or whatnot.
Yeah.
But then some guys doing burnouts in the parking lot in the Hellcat.
Yeah.
Right? So eventually you're going to get pissed off, right?
Yeah.
So we are kind of pushing the envelope right now.
But Operative have always been bad. We have always been a bad group of people in terms of like, you know, we go to restaurants, you know, we're loud, we have a lot of laughs. We're passionate people.
But I feel like as a community, we spent a lot of years fighting that.
Yep.
We spent a lot of years, like my day, 20 years ago, you got a group of 4 up and you're not getting in that nightclub.
Yeah.
2 guys are going to walk up with one Gora and go in. And then the other 2 left outside are going to hack a butt and wait for some Gora they know to walk up so they can go in with him. And so like so many bars and clubs, restaurants, because we had that reputation of being loud, starting fights, you know, and then we fought that for years and years. Look at like the Punjabi community has come up here and like holding classy events and dressing up for galas and like we've made money and
until the drinks start going. Then
but like everybody's coming in nice cars. Like I've been to some civilized parties now. Like.
All right, guys, we interrupt you for a quick shout out to one of my sponsors, Cool Cat Apparel. Shout out my boy, premium quality goods. You know, he's got the Punjab hoodie. He's got so much new shit coming out, limited drops. Be one of the cool cats. Get yours today. All right, guys, I want to thank you for listening. If you made it this far, please subscribe, like, comment, share, tell all your friends. This is the hottest podcast, and it helps the channel a lot, so I appreciate it. Carry on.
Nice. Like,
sounds like a shitty party.
But it's also nice to see our community come up and do that kind of stuff, right? You're like, yes, I want to go have Machi de Pakorde and Crown Royal over the trunk of my car, but I'm going to sit here and enjoy this sit-down mehfil and pretend like I love Koalis.
I feel that, you know, anytime we do like the classier events and maybe it's just I haven't been to enough of these. I almost feel like we're putting on the Halloween costume.
Because we're passus deep inside. We want to go do passu shit outside, right?
And I see the guys who are hosting these and like, it's like just automatically, I would have never like like hold the guy to it, but I'm like, this guy fucking trying to pretend he is, you know? I've seen this guy doing ulti, huh?
Yeah, seriously. But that's
that part I gotta catch myself, and I'd be like, yo, like fuck, maybe
that's also our psyche. The immediate response is to hate, and I'm like, you have to stop yourself. You're like, why am I hating this guy? Like I mentally cussed up his entire family.
Yeah,
right? And then realize, wait, what am I doing? The guy didn't do anything. He actually let me in this event for free.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, I'm like, less. Right? Just like, but that's it's in us. It's in us.
We don't allow other people to evolve, right?
Yeah.
And like that's always been just a big thing. Is that we look at ourselves like, okay, we've grown so much. We're not the same guys we were 1 year ago, 5 years ago, et cetera, et cetera. But like when you see other people who are acting a little bit out of the norm of what your perception of them was, you're like, oh, this guy's fucking fake.
Yeah.
God forbid he's done some work on himself.
Who the fuck do you think you are? Huh?
God forbid he's done some fucking work on himself, but he's like, guy's fake.
I had a friend who started sending in our group, like fantasy football group chat, right? Start sending the daily affirmations.
Oh yeah,
little message in the morning, like
just something to get you going, positive.
You are beautiful. Love yourself and have a great Monday, right? Yeah. Dude, like 3 guys left the group chat. They're like,
fuck this guy.
Bada motivational aa gaya. Sara positive like people left.
Yeah.
And then, so I got a message. I'm like, bro, that's cool. I mean, this is great,
you
know? Like, like, then he's like, like he starts like, like Harv, have you tried Shilajit, right? I'm like, okay, listen, before you start selling me products, I appreciate your positive message. Keep those coming, but let's just leave it at that, right?
Is that Desi Jug?
What's that?
Was that Desi Jug?
No.
Oh, yeah. That's another guy that's big on the Shilajit.
No, but like these health products and these trends, there's people who get on that.
Yeah.
And like, just because, you ate some whatever ashwagandha gummies doesn't mean you're now a personal trainer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, don't fucking give me health tips. Fatter than me, motherfucker.
Well, Shilajit apparently is supposed to be really good, and like there's a lot of people who are kind of like jumping on that shit right now.
I mean, no knock on Shilajit. I'm just giving an example.
What are you trying
I don't want the Shilajit community coming after me, right?
Well, some guy challenging you to a debate, right, of all the benefits. Turns you into one of them.
I'm like, look, man, I don't care. Right? Crown Royal is gluten-free.
Yeah.
So's Wiser's.
Yeah. Wise is so dirty, man. I can count on maybe one hand the times I've drank Wise.
Really?
But the Desi one hand, right?
Full
1,
switch.
2, 3,
yeah,
4.
That's 15. That's 15 times. I made the full switch. I was a Crown and ginger guy.
Okay.
Then I got rid of the ginger ale and went Crown and water.
Yeah.
For the calories.
Yeah.
And then probably like 10 years ago, switched over to Wiser's because as you get older, the Crown became a little bit sweet.
Yeah,
you're still a young guy.
I can agree with that.
And so switched over to the Wiser's.
Oh, wow.
It's been Wiser's and water. And now I actually go Wiser's and soda to get a little effervescence up in there.
Yeah, so you become an uncle. You become an uncle.
I was trying to dress it up with using words like effervescence.
I don't even know if that's a correct use of the word.
Who knows? Okay, but it flowed.
All right, here's a good one. Weight gain after marriage. And I'm not just going to put this on the ladies. I'm going to put this on the guys too.
Yeah, who do you think you're talking to here, man? You're I was like $190 before I got married.
You're tall, though. You can stretch it out. Some guys just get the...
You can only hide so much.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so let's actually get into that. We often get into things like where it's like, oh, like this girl's cheating, that guy's cheating, and...
Where are we going right now?
I'm just saying, people who don't necessarily take care of themselves after they're in committed relationships or they get into, marriages, and then they wonder why things are falling apart. Like, you do have to kind of maintain
I think it's more age than, it's both ways.
Yeah.
Right? There's people who are like, okay, in a committed relationship and now I'm going to let myself go. Yeah. Whatever. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm married. And then there's also age, right? Yeah. There's people just, like I played a lot of sports growing up.
Yeah.
And then, you hit like 26 and you stop playing everything.
Yeah.
And you gain 8-9 pounds.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah.
For 15 years.
Yeah.
And then you're up 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? I've been up 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Then
it's hard.
Now you're 39.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get, lose, right?
And I've been feeling that too. Like, You know, every year I'm gaining like probably 2-3 pounds, 2-3 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm like hitting like that 215 to 220 area now.
Yeah.
And, you know, like after this, like once I hit like the 225s, 230s, then I'm done. Then I'm just fat.
Yeah.
So I got to really, you know, keep it low.
I've taken off about 40, 45 pounds over
That's
the
awesome.
Last few years.
Hard work or just diet
No,
changes?
just putting the fucking fork down every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough.
You know? That's enough. Put it down.
You eat a lot of fast food?
No. But I found my calories were all liquid.
Yeah.
Right? Like
just booze?
So you're drinking at night. No, so you're gonna get up in the morning, you're gonna pound a Gatorade.
Yes.
Right? And then, you know, like
physically.
Lunchtime. Yeah. Lunchtime you're getting a little sluggish.
Yeah.
And you know, you have a Coke.
Yes.
Right? And then you know, I'm drinking dode. Like I drank dode like crazy. My whole life. Like 2 liters a day. Every day. So, you know, when you look at that, I just switched all my beverages to 0 calorie.
Okay.
Right? So having Coke 0.
Yeah.
Having Gatorade 0.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good for me or not.
I'm sure
there's aspartame or whatever the fuck. But it's a lot less sugar.
Yeah.
Right? Not drinking milk. A milk, you know, apparently there's labels that you can read that tells you. So there's like 13 grams of sugar in a cup of milk.
No shit, eh?
So when we pour a glass of milk, we're not pouring 250 milliliters.
Yeah.
We're pouring the desi steel da glass.
Yeah.
You know, it's 500 mil.
Yeah.
Right? So that's 26 grams of sugar right there.
Yeah.
And I'll pound 4 or 5 of those in a day. That's 100 grams of sugar. 100 grams of sugar is a lot of fucking sugar. That's pretty fucking
crazy, man.
Right?
You're drinking that much dud?
Fuck. So I just switched. switched off my drink. So now my fridge my fridge has I have a drink fridge downstairs.
Yeah.
That's just all bottles of water, 7-Up 0, Coke 0, Gatorade 0, and that made a huge difference.
Were you type of guy that drinks duds with like, you know, like pizza, roti?
Yeah.
Everything?
Hell yeah.
Fucking hell. I could never be that guy.
Really?
No chance, man.
Oh my God.
I needed like cookies with my dud. Like I hated milk growing up.
Cookies too, obviously.
Yeah. No, I hated milk growing up, and then like as I got older, I realized I needed to be more strong, but then I realized I don't need milk. Yeah. It was just kind of pointless.
You won't catch me drinking no soy milk, almond milk, none of that bullshit.
You know, we had a teacher back in grade 4 who's like a hardcore vegan.
Yeah.
So that was 23 years ago.
Probably told you about it every day.
Yeah. No, she was hardcore vegan. And this was at Coastal School.
Okay.
But we had this white teacher, right? And she was hardcore vegan. Like, we're 10 years old, and she's showing us videos of like the slaughterhouses and things like that.
Turn you off.
Yeah, completely turned us off, man. We were horrified. So I went vegan back then for like probably 2-3 weeks.
But you lived in Richmond and went to Coastal School?
The Vancouver one. The bus would come pick us up.
The old one on Fraser?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was still operating.
That stopped, I think maybe like 3 or 4 years after I kind of got out of there. That's when it shut down.
I went there for summer school.
Yeah.
And so this is like, we're talking late 80s.
Yeah.
So I can read and write Punjabi.
Yeah.
Right? But I learned it from my mom.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even make it to Friday.
Yeah.
My sisters, I have 3 sisters.
Yeah.
They went the whole summer learning Kirtan and Punjabi and all that stuff, right? I was a quick learner, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm just like, they're teaching Uda Ada, and I'm like, banging it out, no problem. By Wednesday, there's a McDonald's across the street. I'm like, yo, Gurmeet, McDonald's chaliye, French frying, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then on Friday, my mom came to pick us up, and the teacher's like, listen, your daughters are great.
Yeah.
Please don't bring this one back.
Yeah.
My mom's like, oh, Kiki Tane, right? He's like, well, he gets it.
Yeah.
But he's disrupting the other kids, right? So I never get to go back.
That's crazy, man.
So then my mom was like, the whole time that my sisters are there,
you're
going to sit here and learn.
Yeah.
Which is fine by me. I learned it. It's good. I'm
good
happy
skill.
now. Well, I think speaking more than reading and writing, the fact that my Punjabi is very fluent.
Yeah.
So I would say over the last 20 years, 75% of the income I've earned has been because of my Punjabi.
Oh, yeah.
So the Punjabi language has given me the life that I live today because I do Punjabi radio, MC events, and I get hired and booked because I can fluently switch between English and Punjabi. So that's the reason I get booked.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for my kids eating roti.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, because the Punjabi language has given me my income.
Yeah.
So I always respect that, and I'm
100%,
glad
man.
that I learned it.
Oh, absolutely.
My children's Punjabi is embarrassing.
Yeah.
My Gore friends come to my house and they're like, Harv, your kid's Punjabi is embarrassing.
Yeah. That's got to be the case. I mean, I think a large part of that is like, the way that they're growing up. Maybe you should only speak Punjabi to them, and then like it just kind of becomes second nature.
It's just so hard.
It is. Right? I know. It's impossible. All the TV's gonna be there, and
home,
the cocoa melon.
Look at my wife and be like, "Sat Sri Akal ji." Main aa gaya. Yo, by the way,
good idea in theory, I guess.
Have you ever had Punjabi pillow talk?
No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I want to hear this.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
So I'm emceeing a gig in LA.
Yeah.
It was I think this one was at UCLA, and I just remember this girl, one of the organizers.
Yeah.
She just started hitting on me.
Okay.
And I'm still like, I'm in the middle of the gig. I gotta like announce the next thing. And
grabbing your dick and shit.
No, not like that. No, she wasn't touching me, right? But she was, and I've never had this happen to me before. Okay. And so she's just like whispering in my ear, and she's like, "Ji, tusi aaj mere naal aaunge kar." And she's calling me.
I'm getting kind of hard right now.
Dude, she's calling me G.
Holy fuck.
And I'm like, I totally can't, but this is so fucking hot right now. And she's just like, so we're all staying in the same hotel, right? Yeah. And so she's like, not
like
that. No, but she was being subtle, which made it hotter, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's like, "Tusi kehdi floor te ha?"
Oh, wow.
She's like, "Main aake tuhade srane kol behna ya." And I'm like, what in the? And so I was like, listen, I can't. I'm married. However,
I don't see any ring, buddy.
I was like, however, I can't wait to go home and tell people about this because I've never been hit on in Punjabi my entire life.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is just like the tone of it, and then it made me wonder, like, what is that? Like,
yeah.
I asked some of my fresher cousins, like when you guys talk, like, what is it like?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like they don't want to talk about it. I want to know now because now I'm intrigued. You've never had that?
Never had that.
You gotta find one.
I don't know how I'd go through.
You're single
it.
Still?
I'm in a relationship.
Okay.
I'm in a relationship.
But just let her know that you just want to listen to some shit, right?
Sometimes I don't even have to sleep with girls. If they're just down to fuck me, that's good enough for me a lot of the times. Right? I'm like, oh, I already got you.
You'll imagine the rest when you get home.
Yeah. I'm good.
You can make up the rest.
Yeah. The rest of it's just kind of an inconvenience for me.
That's it. Once you know you got it, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Right?
If I got to fucking set up a date and fucking,
it's a lot of work.
Chat you up and fucking text you and all that, don't fuck that. I just need to know that you were down. My mental stimulation's good.
This is so not where I expected it to go today.
But
here we are.
तेरा हथियार बहुत तकड़ा है.
See, that's the vibe it was on.
Yeah.
You know, right? It's not like dirty like Tera Sanda.
Yeah.
It's like it's sweet like
everything's got the double meaning, right?
It was sweet and delicate, right? So it was nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, would be a pretty cool experience.
It was cool. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
The amount of people I called.
How fly was she?
After that, she was a good-looking girl.
Yeah.
She was a good-looking girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy that a girl would be that forward to an MC. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, she probably doesn't know you all the time.
No, she has no idea.
Yeah, she's not going to see you again.
She's from there. I'm from here.
You're the main guy. You're making the jokes. You're the man of the hour.
But it started like right away.
Yeah, she's probably like, fuck, I never have to deal with this guy again. Why not?
You know the hilarious thing?
Yeah.
We went to the after party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look. As men.
Yeah.
Okay, we can fight it.
Yeah.
But, the seed's already planted in your head.
Yeah.
So you're kind of thinking like, that was pretty hot.
Yeah.
And
like you're dripping pre-cum now.
Percolating. It's percolating.
Because she's ugly.
She shows up to the after party with her Gora boyfriend.
Wow.
And I'm like,
wow.
Wow.
Maybe that guy was in on it.
Either way, it was an experience. Yeah. And I had a buddy who was there with me on the trip. I always like when I go out of town gigs, I'm like, oh, my manager's gonna come with me. I'll take a different buddy every time, right? And so I'm like, bro, do you know what she was saying? He's like, what? And I'm like, she was like flirting in Punjabi. He's like, no way, what was that like? I'm like, I'll tell you about it later. Like, stand right here. And I'm coming up behind his shoulder. She was like, he's like, okay, stop. Right? I'm like, hey.
He's like, now I'm getting hard. Oh, that's an interesting one, man. Because, like, okay. And I've talked about this before. This is a pretty dark angle of it, you know. Actually, not even dark. It's just a kind of interesting one to think about. You know, like the people in the band, you know, from back in the day. You know, how are they flirting? Like, you know, like the generation of like 100
Have you seen the Cold Sog video?
No, I don't think I have. No.
Wait, get out of here.
I don't think I have.
Look it on your phone right now. How have you not seen? You don't know this one? You gotta find this one. So this guy,
I've seen some pretty dark stuff from
No, this guy is actually like a phenomenal actor. And he's in a lot of Punjabi movies. I can't remember his name, but he's friends with my friend Bob Mann.
Yeah.
And he did this short. It's like a short film. Mm-hmm. And there's the girl. She's got like the kada on her head.
Yeah.
And apparently she's married to a Fauji. You know, so the Fauji's gone away.
Oh yeah.
And oh my God. You gotta see it.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. See, I always had a great idea for these like Punjabi themed porns as well. I thought I could kill it, like, you know, like Kutti and the Kate.
Yo, my fantasy football team is Kutti and Janania.
I had Blueberry Bus Bang.
Wow.
Tradesman adventures, you know? The guy comes in, he's covered in drywall mud.
Auntie Hunter?
Yeah, you can do Auntie Hunter. 100%. There you go. I tell you, $1 billion industry.
Oh, it's out there already.
Yeah. They fucking stole my ideas, man. But yeah, man, I mean, I've always wondered how, like, the courting of women was, like, 100 years ago.
Well, hey, there's a reason why our parents tell us not to marry in our panda.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
I told you about relating the panda to the trailer park.
Yeah.
Right? Somewhere down the line, everybody screwed everyone, right? Chances are you got some joint chromosomes with that chick from the other side of the panda.
Yeah, you know, I was actually, like, this is back in the day, like, it's got to be just years ago. But I was seeing this girl, seriously seeing this girl, but she had the same last name as me. And we were we were just slamming and shit like that, and like
just slamming.
Yeah, but like, you know, it was still like there was like some real pyar there too, but it was mostly transactional relationship, right?
All right.
And one of my good buddies, he like really got in my head. He's like, dude, he's like, you can't be with this girl. She's got the same last name as you. And I was like, but bro, like she's from a different district. Cause like I talked about that, right? Like I'm from Amritsar. She was from like Jalandhar, or, you know, they were Duabe or something, right?
Whatever. Wrong side of the river.
Wrong side of the river. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like, it's probably got to go back pretty far. He's like, bro, our culture is only like maybe like 4 or 5 generations. He's like, maybe it's not that far.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I was like, maybe they switched over the last name. And he's like, dude, you're fucking your cousin right now.
And you never know.
No, I did some digging. I was like trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
That stuff about other side of the river and caste and whatnot, we never knew. Like when I was growing up, pretty much all my friends or any of the Punjabis in my hood, right, all kind of came from the same backgrounds. Yeah. Everybody was from Dawaba. Everybody, you know, like parents kind of grew up the same. Yeah. And so I remember I had, fuck, I don't even know if I share. I'm just, we've already let loose now, right? So I had a girlfriend, like a high school sweetheart, blah, blah, right? And as my parents figured it out and knew who her parents were. So dad sits me down and he's like, Galson, you know, you need to stop with this, whatever you're doing here, right? And I'm like, what am I? He's like, shut up. Like, we don't know about your girlfriend. Yeah. He's like, listen, she's like takan.
Okay.
And I'm like, Dad, what is that?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it means like, you know, her ancestors or family down the line were woodworkers, right? Me, sweet, innocent guy, was like, well, Dad, you've been working in a mill for 32 years. Technically, you're the takan, right? And he just wound up and boom, so hard. And I was like, sorry, I'm going to go upstairs now, right? And just walked away.
Yeah.
But like, that was a thing. Like, and we learned about that. Like, my buddies from Abbotsford, the ones who came, because they were all like Malay.
Yeah.
And so they came and told, like, you know, like, oh, by the way, we say kyo and you say, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even know growing up until you're like in grade 12 that this kind of stuff was happening.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm sure you went through some of that with your parents.
It's othering, you know?
Yeah.
Again, it's all othering. Like, we're from Amritsar, so we think we're better than everyone. We're like, oh, the Wab guys, they're a little bit too roughneck. Oh, the Malwai guys, they're a little bit too, you know.
Yeah, see, like, I don't even know all the nuances yet of what.
It's all bullshit.
Know? Yeah.
They're just fucking, like, and like, people think like we haven't grown up in families where we know the shit people in our families are worse than anybody else that we've seen on the outside. And like, you know, like all of it is just, it's just othering. Yeah. That's why I think even if every single human person or human being was the same color, we would still find reasons to hate each other. And that's who we are. It just makes it easier. If you look different than me, it's just like, okay, I know how to attack you a lot easier. Because I got a little bit of a leg up on you on this certain thing. But that's just humans. That's our condition.
I think that you got cousins from England?
Yeah, sure.
Their shit's a lot worse, right? Where they know, like my cousin would be driving down the street, he'd be like, that's a Muslim. I'm like, he looks like us. How do you know that's a Muslim? Yeah. You know, oh, he's Pakistani. Yeah. You know, like when he comes here, and I'm like, so what? Yeah. Right? Like, they got Gujarati for sure. Yeah. That's Gujarati.
They got a lot of fucking deep-seated stuff over there. Like, things work very different in the UK than they do. Like, people actually, like, it's like physical beefs. Like, over here, we just dislike other opponents.
But he explained it to me. I'm like, what is your beef with Pakistanis? Yeah. Right? Like, there are brothers too. They're Punjabi too, right? Yeah. And he's like, okay, Harv, what's your favorite cereal? And I'm like, Golden Grams.
Yeah. Golden Grams? That's a weird one.
Yeah, Golden
Grams. That's a weird one, man.
Come on, man. So he's like, now imagine if all you got to eat was Golden Grams all day, every day, 3 times a fucking day. You'd be sick of Golden Grams too. Yeah. He's like, that's how we feel about Pakistanis. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, fair enough. Right? Like, that was his explanation. Yeah. I'm like, you better just keep your mouth shut around here, right?
Yeah. I guess, like, England's a different thing. It's a smaller place. It's more tight-knit. And, like, there's no space. In each other's face. Yeah. It's there's just so densely packed, so maybe that's what it is, man. And on that note, we're gonna, we talk a lot of bullshit here, but one love to all, I guess.
Yes, we should. We need to all love each other. Like, so many times where hating on this or that. Yeah. We talked about a lot of it today, whether it doesn't matter what somebody's sexual orientation is, what side of the river they're from. Just let's love each other and get along. Yeah,
absolutely.
Have a good time.
And we really need to get to the bottom of this Desi dirty talk. Oh, dude. Or Desi dirty talk.
There should be you should create the Instagram page, Desi dirty talk. People will upload their shit.
Yeah. Maybe I just got to go to more student events, Yeah. I don't even know how I'd approach anyone there. All right, thank you guys. Take care.